really like Willow Pill.
Yo. It's your boy, Seafoam Solge, in a new locale, or on location for you guys today from the workroom. We'll just do a little quick mini stream because of the circumstances. But with me today, I've got some of the usual crew.
I'm Floppy Bob.
Are we going to reference the fact that we're not in your flat? Like this
I just did. I said we're on location.
Oh, all right, fine.
Just like Jasmine Kennedy, not listening at all.
Like every single stream, one of you guys tells all of you is my exact location. So maybe let's not do that. Like every stream, right?
The postcode is
Exactly. Right, who's that?
Dan.
And who's the other one? Excuse me?
Gross!
Thank you. Okay, so we all had a nice little drag race session just now, and that is code for orgy. How do we feel it went?
It's not a question. Oh, I thought you were asking them.
anybody.
You were dressing. No.
It's like 12 o'clock.
I was saying upstairs in between Dragons Untucked. I'm really surprised that I'm enjoying this one as much as I am, because I wasn't even going to watch it.
Yeah.
Because it's on Wow Presents. But I'm really glad that we paid our $2.99 a month and subscribed to Wow Presents.
We split between us. We haven't got to split one. I'm so excited.
What,
Sorry. It's a very good season. I was thinking as well because like last episode was a bit of a. Oh, sorry, Chris. Last episode was a bit of a blip, wasn't it? Like last episode wasn't great.
Yeah,
but then it's back on form again. This episode.
It was a bit much.
It was. I'm surprised we haven't had a challenge like this before. Actually, like this is a really good one for because the overacting challenges are really hit and miss. And I think this is a really nice way of containing the hit and miss nature of overacting, right? Because you've got a little bit more editing on it.
Like they should have used these promos as the promos.
Oh, 100%.
It would ruin this episode, though, wouldn't it?
A bit, but it would have been kind of like, oh, I get that now. Why that's been so like extra? Like it was just. If I'd have seen that, I'd have been like, oh my god, this season's going to be awesome. Because it's the first comedy challenge. I think I said this during the episode that I actually would go back and rewatch.
Yeah.
Normally they're so like badly written. It's almost like actually letting the queens do it themselves is so much better than giving them a shitty script.
But it all
got
sorry, guys.
That was just me in my pocket.
What was I going to say? Also, it shows the personalities of the queens, right? Because this is a very strong part of the personalities, and this is like the perfect challenge to show that. Whereas the last episode was just Luke's, and like none of them. It's not like a cast full of Aquarius. Do you know what I mean? No offense. Much more. I'm saying the opposite. I'm saying that she was slayed the last episode, but I'm saying they're much more personality queens this season.
Which
so
I think when I saw them meet the queens, I thought I actually was a bit like, oh, they're a bit generic. Oh, that one's a bit like this queen before, and that one's got a really shit name. And we've seen, and actually, it's kind of made me a bit more interested, especially after like the last two seasons, which have been a bit sad, and that's probably a COVID thing. But it's really fun.
Yeah,
I totally agree.
Yeah.
Was there a mini challenges episode?
Was there one? I don't think there was.
No. Okay. So the first thing I didn't write any notes. I thought we just do a quick stream because we don't have like all the mic and that this time. But the first thing I remember is the thing between. We might talk about as a whole between. Is it Alyssa Hunter? No, between Jasmine Kennedy, and Cornbread. How do we all feel about that?
I feel like initially there was a strong point being made by Cornbread, but then I feel like she kept making the point to a point where I did feel a bit sorry for Jasmine that she kind of couldn't win. Like if she stays quiet and writes things down, she's not engaging in the conversation. But she
never did that anyway.
Yeah, right.
It was bullying a little bit.
Yeah,
it felt kind of like she can't do anything right, and actually, you don't get to be the gatekeeper of her behaviour. Like you can point it out and then move on.
Yeah.
The only thing I'd say is I agree. I think Cornbread took it too far, but it did seem that all the queens felt the same way.
Yeah, exactly.
If it was just Cornbread,
it seemed like it needed to be said in that initial point.
The first bit is when she started telling her off for like writing on a pad. Like, all right, I think you can kind of let her just do her own thing now. And
I think there was a sort of moment of like, especially the editors have probably done a bit of a sort of thing of justice of this, right? Of like Jasmine Kennedy is safe and goes through. Cornbread is in the bottom and then spends bits of Untucked and bits of being on the stage just talking a lot. And actually at one point sort of seemingly, and again it might be just the editing, but seemingly having someone kind of say like, oh yeah, Lady Camden sort of talking about being really sad or whoever it was, and then her being like, because blah blah blah, and I'm like, it's a little pot kettle, but at the same time I think a good part of that is probably just editing. But I think,
Also, I was thinking because I have the same issue, but I actively monitor it to an extent. Because maybe it's just like she's got ADHD or something. Because it's really difficult to not just blurt stuff out the whole time if you've got ADHD. And so, like, I know, like, you can't use mental health as like an excuse for literally everything. But at the same time, like, some people are just it's just difficult for them. You know, and I felt like that wasn't really taken into consideration. Like, I don't think she's just been like a selfish dick. Her intention, as you can see, because she kept talking about it, wasn't to be that way. She's actively wanted to not be like that.
Yeah.
But if her brain's naturally like, making her act like that, then I think that some compassion should be shown towards her.
Because sometimes it's just I want to tell you that I'm understanding what you're saying, and I'm trying to give you reassurance that I've experienced that as well, and I'm trying to get my point across.
Yeah, I mean, she's like one of the first things Conrad said was like when she's like, "Oh yeah, T," because like she's agreeing with it or whatever, and Conrad's like, "You just cut me off again."
Yeah,
and it's like, well, like I get based on like her previous behavior why you'd say that, but at the same time, like. It is just a bit like nitpicky at that point, isn't it? Like you didn't need to stop talking because you said T. Like you could have just continued. Like,
yeah. And Jasmine's also she's what like 21 or 22?
23, I think.
Yeah, and like she's amongst some really loud drag queens. So like I can kind of get the capacity, the kind of intention to sort of be like, right, I'm gonna fight to be a bit heard because someone who hasn't fought in that same way has been someone like Lady Camden, and quite frankly, I often forget she's in the guard.
Yes, yeah, that's true. That's true. I don't think she's actively thinking like that. I think it's just the way she is. But also, I think this is like a separate thing. Again, like I feel bad because that's just nice, but like she does seem a bit like she shouldn't be in a competition. She was a bit desperate kind of thing to me. Like she seems too like not confident, right? I don't know. Something just seems a bit like uncomfortable to me about her, which is a shame because she seems nice and like she's got potential or whatever. What do you guys think?
I don't know if being put on the spot. I'm like,
do you feel like she's got like a bit of an air about her, or do you feel like she doesn't? She seems confident, like she fits in.
Lady Camden, yeah.
No, Jasmine.
I don't know. I mean, I think she's very much like a middle of the pack. I think she'll probably be in it for a few more weeks. Like, I think she's learning still.
Yeah, she's one of these queens that will get reasonably far, but at the end of the day, the excuse will be, well, you've got more growing to do. You're kind of a little bit unrefined still, but I like her. I don't have any strong negative feelings against her. I did really feel sorry for her in this episode, and I think a lot of the other queens will feel sorry for her after this as well. So that will kind of help her a bit, I think, as well. And let's see where she goes.
Yeah.
Okay. So I guess she's gone to. Was there anything else from the workroom we wanted to talk about, or she's gone to challenges?
I think that was pretty much.
I think that was it. Right.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Or about
there was an emotional moment,
dad
right?
Coming out as gay.
Oh yeah,
that was pretty cool.
That was really cool. That was really cute.
Really nice.
Her dad was a snack.
Yeah.
Yes.
We all agreed.
Absolutely.
He was no Alyssa Munter.
Oh, you should have said Munter because it's
Munter. Yeah, I went Munter. I went a bit northern. Munter.
Auf Deutsch.
Sorry, I'm just helping you refine your puns. They're worn out after this weekend.
So yeah, main challenges. So I can't remember which team was which, but they're both very good. I thought.
First one was Cornbread and Willow Pill and some of the other ones.
Should we just talk about? Should we just like treat them as like one big thing and just talk about our highlights? I don't think it's necessarily separate them into teams at this point. We just talk about who.
Bad they didn't actually, because I don't think either was better than the other. They were both really strong. And it was definitely about the individuals rather than like a team effort.
Yeah.
It wasn't written like that.
Yeah. Willow killed it. I was
just
so
like
happy
good at everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm really worried that there'll be sort of. I really hope she gets to the final because I think she'll do well.
She was really good. One thing I was thinking of her is I'd apply some of the same critique that some of the others got to her, and I did think she was a little bit one note. I think she was really funny, but like I don't know, like she had like one joke she was sort of doing for.
But I think sometimes that it's when it's done well. It's like
I guess.
But does Bianca well? Like I think that she impacted rather than like Alyssa, where it was like I'm just going to be high pitched in Spanish.
Yeah,
I thought Cornbread was the most ever example of the one note thing.
Yeah,
and
they called her out on that.
Yeah.
Because Willow wasn't indulgent with it. Willow just had all these great little lines and just came out of nowhere.
I feel like it wasn't being loud for the sake of it and for the sake of being noticed. It was part of her. It was like built into the act. It wasn't like Cornbread where I feel like she started to flail a bit and just thought, well, I'm just going to start screaming and shout the entire time. I think that you can really tell a difference between when a queen does that and when it's actually part of intended act.
Yeah, someone's listening to the other cast and riffing off it rather than I'm just going to shout and be loud and make fat jokes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which Cornbread will probably fall into.
Yeah.
Which is called Cornbread for a reason. Like, it's the whole thing.
Yeah.
But yeah. And
that's kind of the thing. Like they did like it. It's like your one note, but I just didn't think her bit was funny. I think it was too much of a stretch to. I think it would be funny if you just did the exact joke that Silky did, like just like had a costume on underneath instead of changing.
I was
to
waiting
food,
for us
like,
to do that, and then she pulled out a pork chop.
Exactly. I don't think it really worked.
Yeah.
Personally.
I mean, there's this kind of thing now that pork chops are inherently funny because of pork chop, but it doesn't always work.
No.
It also, it kind of confused me a little bit, her bit, because it's sort of, we know that she can be really funny, really charming.
Yeah. And
then to have her kind of just, again, it was just like, oh, and I'm now going to go into my bra and there's going to be a snack. But I'm also announcing that again and again. Like, I think she almost accidentally over set up each joke, right? Instead of it kind of being like she turns around and there's a bit of food stuck to her hair that she can then like pull out, or like something unexpected within that format. It was like, now I'm taking off my clothes. There are things in my bra. You want to see me get my
really
potato chips out of my bra?
it.
Yeah. And I was like, okay, we get it. Like,
rather than just like, it could have been like, she could have been sitting there having a really sensible conversation, like nodding along, and then just pluck it out. And eat it.
Exactly.
It was literally like, this is the joke.
Yeah.
I think she's funny, but she'll definitely refine the subtleness of some elements of humor. And I think, it
was like Willow Pill with her like, I thought we were getting a lunch voucher.
That was really funny.
That's so random and
Yeah.
so like just understated.
Yeah.
I thought even though it was one note, it wasn't like booming out and shouting. It was just silly and fun.
Because again, I feel like someone like Alyssa Hunter, if she had had that same character, might have, or Cornbread maybe, was looking for Jeffrey Chapman and be like, where is he? Ah!
Yeah.
Whereas like she was kind of like getting slowly more and more manic, and then be like, is he under the table? Maybe he's under the table. Ah! Like, and I thought that was just so well sort of done, because you didn't really know what she was about to do next.
Yeah.
I say with Cornbread, like to me it seemed like, again, the Cornbread is naturally very funny, but it's like it seemed like someone maybe close to Alyssa Hunter, where like someone he doesn't think they're inherently funny and just goes like a go-to gag, like, oh, let's go for like the fat food thing. You know? Cornbread didn't need to do that. She could have just been funny.
Yeah, the same. Alyssa Hunter
like
just went for like, I'm Spanish.
Exactly. Whereas someone like Angeria, well, it's just again like she's naturally funny, and she kind of just banked on that without even knowing it probably, and it works really, really well.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well,
never mind.
Like Angeria was great. Similar moment to Simone of having just a line that you'll always like, is your blood sugar low, is now like ugly bitch. Yeah, just very like natural charisma, and just made it look a bit easy.
My favorite bit was still Deja Sky's confessional.
It's really good.
Yeah.
I was born at a very young age. I couldn't even walk.
I can't believe you never had that joke. It was so well crafted.
It was really good.
That's really well done.
And she got the nuance of how they talk at the mirror moment so well.
Yeah.
Like, it felt believable.
Yeah.
And so ridiculous.
I liked her. I feel like she's referencing Mimi a lot in the Untucked bit as well. Like the eye makeup and like the way she was behaving in that, which I'm like, hers was quite dynamic. Like she's different in every scene. Which
real like peaks and valleys.
Yeah.
Really
I was gonna say it's good, but I don't feel like it's a very original joke. Like it's definitely one I've heard before elsewhere, but it worked out well.
I moved my foot.
So yeah.
Chris hates Deja Sky.
I do. Sorry.
I'm not getting like my fave vibes from.
No.
Oh no, I agree. I think her outfits makeup.
She looked like she'd been eating Wotsits in her makeup today. No one noticed it, but it was like all around her mouth. It was really orange, and it was like.
I wonder they do that
Pretty
to
gross.
hide like
Stubble.
hair growth. Like they paint it lighter to counteract having hair growth.
They shouldn't cover up with foundation properly, I guess.
Yeah.
What anything else to say about the challenge before we move on to Runway?
I thought it was a really well done challenge. Like this, like Dan was saying, like I would happily go back and rewatch this because it was just quality.
I want to go and rewatch it. There was a moment Maddie said something which you all reacted to, and I missed it. Like it was because I thought Maddie was actually pretty.
Maddie
good
was
as well.
great. Yeah.
Maddie had lots of nice little moments.
Yeah, I loved it when she was like the rancher as well.
Oh yeah.
Her expression.
But they didn't include her like my dad's
Yeah.
Yosomi, like they cut that whole thing out.
I'm straight to yeah.
It's funny because Michelle was like, that's so funny, and then they just didn't include it.
I do always like that they, in more recent seasons, they're showing different things in the recordings to the actual thing. Because if like a lot of times it's boring, you see all the same stuff again, but with a different camera angle. So it is good to have like more content to sort of judge them on.
Yeah.
The only other thing I was going to say is I thought it was interesting they did a lot more segments that weren't shown in the recording as well. And that's what I thought it was interesting that they did stuff on stage with RuPaul. Because again, I just think it just goes to what we were saying before. RuPaul just having more fun this season. Like I would have felt like in season 12 he wouldn't bother to have like got involved in challenging that way, and like he obviously, I guess the Queen scripted stuff, and he had to say things for their script, right? Like he had lines,
Yeah.
Again, which feels like something he wouldn't have done previously.
Yeah,
Really.
yeah, yeah.
I mean, I feel like after last week, it feels like Rue is really like into this season, these queens. Whether it's like a COVID thing of like I can finally just do this properly again.
Yeah.
It's nice. I really wanted to see him do the lip sync, or like
Yes,
have a moment of Rue doing
yeah.
a lip sync against the Queen on stage. That was
Yeah.
like a bit of a missed opportunity because that would have been.
Well, he knows he can't do that.
Or Michelle
Yeah.
Visage doing it, or like.
He's done that before.
Yeah, we saw the Holoslay spectacular.
Oh, I haven't seen that because I heard it was
Oh,
absolutely.
it was
shit.
shy.
Exactly.
But like there was a lip sync between
Rue and Michelle.
Rue and Michelle, which was a lot of standing on the spot and moving, and then like stunt doubles of like doing like jump splits.
Oh,
But like really hilariously like intentionally like bad.
That
stunt
was
doubles,
good,
so you could
yeah.
tell. So it was like the legs were just a little bit too long, and like
great! I will go and watch that immediately.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's fun.
Should we go on to runway soon?
yeah.
I was gonna say my thoughts on the runway is that like normally these celebrity themes are terrible IMO, but like this was the most diverse like representation of one of these things we've had. Normally they all wear very similar style stuff, but
And we
at
talked
least
a
it
lot-
was broad.
Like we said, J-Lo's not got many iconic looks, but actually, like, there's even been like the Madonna one where there's been looks I didn't really know about.
Yeah,
it's
that's
not
true.
like, and actually it worked because she has had. Well, they put the picture up, so it's not like you needed to know them.
That's true.
Yeah, true that.
So it worked better than I thought it would. Although I did think J-Lo would actually be I thought she was going to be a judge.
Yeah.
And it's such a shame that
She's too busy promoting that wonderful film.
What's the film out on the 11th of February?
Marry Me.
Oh, is that
J-Lo.
one with Owen Wilson?
It is indeed.
Oh,
yeah.
great.
Oh.
It's all good cinema.
I'm so sick of Owen Wilson.
Yeah.
I
Nose.
don't know whether I don't know whether they've had a J-Lo film theme previously because like loads of queens have worn J-Lo outfits, especially that green wrap thing that Kerry wore this episode. Like so many queens have referenced. I think 2-1 runway once. So I was wondering whether they had done like a J-Lo runway. Even if they haven't, like we've seen a lot of outfits before. So I'm glad the queens like it's again like quite a varied representation of her looks or whatever.
Yeah.
I feel a lot of them were really, really shit, but they got praised. So I feel like Deja's look was horrific.
It was horrible. And then
Like,
they were like,
minus 10.
J-Lo should have worn it like this. No.
Yeah, what?
Ugly.
So I'm trying to justify
Horrible.
having Deja in the top for the like Deja was good enough to be in the top for like
You could have
the
had her
acting.
option. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
you can kind of
exactly.
be like, hey girl, the reason you're not winning tonight is because it was lacking a bit of polish and it was just a bit
Scrappy.
A lot of the looks felt really cheap to me.
Really
I looked really cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but you know, fashion don't cost a thing.
Oh.
It does in this case. They all of them should have spent less money
Taste,
on it.
taste
Fashion's very expensive.
um,
Who was the outfit with the you had like the leather bondage outfit? Which
I thought it was cool.
That was the last one. Wasn't that
Diabetic.
diabetic?
Yeah.
I didn't love it.
Oh, it
Like,
was cheap.
that
Oh, I liked
pink
it.
sash around the waist.
Would you wear it then?
The material was a bit
Alright.
cheap. Like an okay look idea, I think, but the material was a little bit cheap looking.
It was trash.
but for me, it's just like when Queen, like I always say, like Queens are doing something different. At least she had like a different approach for the other Queens. It's more,
exactly.
it's more exciting than like even if you didn't think it's well executed. At least it was bringing something different, you know.
Yeah.
I thought Alyssa Hunter's was really good as well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
me
really
too.
liked it.
I didn't love the reveal, but like I think that like there was she should have saved that reveal for the lip sync.
Oh, it was like the kind of gangster's mole,
Yeah.
fancies with the white hat thing.
Yeah.
Don't you think she should have saved the reveal for the lip sync?
Yeah.
What was the reveal again?
Like a shiny bodysuit thing under that.
Yeah.
Yeah, the look was fine.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
she just lost it on the challenge because she just shrieked.
I really don't think she was terrible though. Like
No.
When you got to the end and it was Alyssa, I'm like, I don't want any of these to go home. And actually, I was hoping there'd be another one to go, and then there wasn't.
yeah.
And it was like,
Yeah.
oh shit, I think it's going to be Alyssa based on it
Yeah.
can't be cornbread. And actually, Kerry, I thought they'd want to keep
Yeah.
because she's hot.
Like she was. Alyssa was one of the weakest ones, but I don't think she was bad. I think it seemed like an all-stars challenge where like all the queens were good
Yeah.
generally, but she was one of the weakest ones.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like, again, she's quite like she played quite a big part in a lot of different scenes, whereas Georgia's didn't really. Like I do feel like Georgia should have been in the bottom.
She slipped through to it this week.
I
Because
don't
her
know how
outfit
though.
wasn't
I'm not.
nice.
I'm not
Her
getting.
look
Yeah.
wasn't great.
Her look wasn't great.
She was entirely forgettable.
I don't
in most of
remember
those
anything
scenes.
she did.
No, exactly.
She mostly just had like little faces between moments.
And Lady Camden.
No. What does she wear?
That's what I'm saying. Like
Her-
why?
That's what I found really weird because her whole joke was meant to be that she was like British but really trying to pretend to be American. But like,
she did it once. And
that joke didn't really
No.
land.
That's something I'm not getting anything from her.
She had that red flowy dress, right? And I think that wasn't so bad. That was quite good.
Sort of pantsuit with
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fine.
skirt
It was
with the
fine.
dress thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, any highlights from the runway, or like, we talked about lowlights already, haven't we?
What was really good? What did I really like? Apparently nothing.
I think I did like Willow's dress.
Yeah,
I love the
Willow's.
comment on it as well when they asked her,
That was it.
"Why did you pick this?" And she said, "Well, it's kind of ugly."
Yeah. But it's sort of ugly pretty. Like it also was quite like
Iconic to the time. I think that was
Yeah.
kind of a play on that kind of bit trashy 90s fashion.
Mm.
I really like the nod to that. I think that was clever.
And I think that was a really clever way for Willow to attempt to approach something like this, because like J-Lo is this like really, really beautiful figure, and Willow is like, although she does some really beautiful looks,
over to like glamorous kind of
yeah,
thing.
she doesn't really do that quite as much. So I think she's very good at translating Willow into everything.
I
puts
agree.
her stamp on it.
So lip sync,
Kerry just walked along.
because of the dress.
Very
Like,
debatable.
she literally said the thing like, I can't risk doing anything to dress at all.
Yeah.
So I can't lip sync basically. But
I
she's
have,
go on.
I have to say, I feel like the dress was a bit of a cop out. Like, fair enough, it looked good, and yeah, it's pretty incredible that it is something that JLo has worn herself, right?
Yeah.
But I don't think it was really showcasing anything for her in that runway, or the lip sync even. I think it would have been more interesting to see something more kind of at least personalized to them. It was literally just wearing someone else's dress.
Yeah.
And Kerry's so tall, it could have been something big, it could have been something
Yeah.
dramatic. It was kind of like a bit inoffensive in a way.
She could have had something like Angeria's outfit would have been really good on Kerry.
Yeah. Because it's easy to be like, oh, JLo just gave me this dress to wear, but it's like, well, was it elevated beyond it being JLo's? Like if she'd just come out in that.
But it was one of the best looking ones on the runway though.
Yeah.
It was,
But I think that's Kerry. I think Kerry's got an amazing body. She's really tall. She's stunning anyway.
That's something to been work with that though.
Kind
Like
of
just
dress
dumping
on
a JLo dress sorted kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
I think she relies on it far too much. I kind of get worried with queens that you are amazed every week at how they look, but it's just kind of, it starts to become a bit samey. It's too polished.
Yeah.
I think we need to see something a bit more
Crystal Versace.
Yeah.
She's not on that level.
Crystal had a bit more variety at least.
Exactly.
but-
I think Crystal definitely personalized things more to herself. Kerry is kind of, I never see much of her in it, and I don't know if we will. I feel like I don't know if she's at that point where she can kind of come down a little bit and just show us more vulnerability, which is what Ruth said.
Yeah.
That was the critique.
Do you think I've got a controversial thing to say? So do you think you're getting your foot out from under my ass for this one? So do you think, I was thinking when she's like talking about like how much she wants to be perceived as beautiful the whole time, whether that's like related to her trans journey at all?
Probably a little, potentially a little, yeah.
Right, because like, that is, obviously it's all tied around like how you're perceived by others and like that being really important kind of thing, right, to you and how you feel about yourself. So like I'm wondering maybe whether it's related to that, and maybe it could be healthier for her to have less attachment to that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think the thing I'm finding is all like fourth week, but third week really with Kerry in an episode. And I kind of am like, who is she apart from being beautiful?
She has been quite like funny and charming.
She has, yeah, that's true.
In the workroom and stuff, but
But,
just
like,
not quite enough.
Yeah, I'm not fully seeing the kind of roundedness.
But it's still like more interesting than like people like Lady Camden.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Lady Camden's really going to have to like do something in the next week or two. Otherwise, she's definitely going to be just.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But-
she knows
but
it.
nothing.
She said it. She said it this episode.
Mm.
Oh, did she?
Yeah, she did.
Mm.
So yeah,
She's not standing out.
so we all loved the lip sync. We were all very impressed.
It's really annoying because Alyssa kind of embodied the song a bit more and was doing stuff.
Then
And then
She
she
fucked it up with that money gun.
But like,
I don't think that was a big deal.
I don't think it was as big as, yeah.
I don't know, she was on the floor, like scrabbling around and picking it up. Like, I don't think we really saw it.
No.
But I think,
especially compared to what Kerry was doing.
but I don't think she was really doing that much. She was doing she wasn't really doing that much more.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, it's the same issue I had loads of times this season. Like, what's her name? Melissa was doing way too much, and Kerry wasn't doing nowhere near enough.
Mm.
Like, we need something in between. It wasn't so much a money thing that I had the issue with Alyssa. It was just like it seemed desperate. Like she was just, it was like at 100 the whole way through. It was just a bit much for me.
I just thought it was a bit meh.
No, she had
Yeah.
slow moments. She had that bit where she kind of sexily walked to the back and then the front again. It wasn't like jumping around the stage. You can see some queens who are like literally grappling on for dear life.
That's
It wasn't-
kind of
I
how
didn't
it
get that
felt.
kind of.
I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know.
That's what I was getting.
I think it wasn't one of those things, right, where like Alyssa was like so good that she was an undisputed winner, and then Kerry was just walking, and Kerry's the one. It was kind of like Alyssa felt like she was giving a bit more, and Alyssa and Kerry just felt a bit underwhelming.
I kind of reconciled it by like, I kind of want to see more of Kerry.
Yeah.
Kerry's stunning, and I'm not that bothered about Alyssa. So it's
True.
kind of like lip sync aside. Am I that bothered? No.
Yeah, I would say okay. Interesting, good question. And so, objectively do you think was the winner of the lip sync?
Alyssa.
Yeah, I think I would say so as well.
Still on the fence because I think like trying to pull a stunt in the middle of a lip sync and then having it go really wrong.
At least she did something.
She was on her knees picking up money during the music.
Oh, it wasn't that dramatic.
I don't think it was that dramatic.
They played it up with the music and the gasping. I really don't think it was.
I also think Alyssa could have helped herself a little bit there by kind of making it into a thing, like like trying to scramble from that instead of like having her back to the audience and everything.
Yeah, she could have been facing the audience, like, oh my god,
or kind of like pick up a little bit of money and start fanning, and she's like sorting, do something a bit kind of funny.
She got there eventually with it. I think she did do that a little bit, but yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
She had her back, and it looked like she was panicking. But then,
rather than it being, she could, like you say, could definitely have been part of the act. It could have been funny. She could have like played up to it.
So I don't know. I think Alyssa won the lip sync. I think a lot of people would agree with that. But I think Kerry was saved due to her performance throughout the competition.
And
which I think is
potential
fair.
as well. I think.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
That's what I think.
I don't feel like I'm gonna like miss Alyssa Hunter.
No.
Well, where goes the name of our stream?
Also,
and it's not going to be I miss her Hunter.
Damn, have you seen the name of the stream?
yeah.
Oh,
Jasmine Kennedy, not listening, not reading.
Exactly.
Like yourself.
my
Can you stop breathing?
sorry.
My somewhat sort of like tinfoil hat conspiracy on this
Oh,
is
yeah.
also that like Kerry has the golden ticket and they didn't want to spoil the thing too soon.
Like, do you think they know who's got the golden ticket?
Yeah, they must.
I
They
must,
must.
yeah.
It's probably got like a glowing dark mark on it or something like that.
Yeah.
Also, have them be sure that they're really giving it to them who they picked at the beginning. I feel like they're going to choose. They're not going to tell us, but the queens don't keep that chocolate on them the whole time. They
No, of course
not.
They
They
did
write
write
their
their
name
names
on
on it. They wrote a name on it.
Oh, yeah.
First
So they can
episode.
just swap rappers. I feel like the production has more power than we.
Yeah,
think.
I agree. I agree with that completely.
Also, I do love that. It's really awkward for them all as well because like they've just like potentially they've lost the lip sync and they're all on stage like, oh fuck, maybe I'm going home, and they're like trying to scramble to open this like chocolate bar with nails and like everything. And I feel bad because like both times now, both with June and
Jin.
with June, sorry,
John.
and with now with Alyssa as well. There's sort of just this really awkward moment of like 10 seconds while they're like,
Yeah.
fucking hell.
It's make chocolate really disappointing. It's like, oh, it's just chocolate.
Yeah, I know. I was like,
I'd be so happy with that. I'd be like, boshed it immediately.
Oh,
yeah.
You know,
And then they're like, can you leave the stage?
exactly. I'm like,
Oh,
no, I've
so
got a couple more squares to go.
It's that music as well. They're playing. It's so undignified.
Yeah.
Plus, it always makes me. I always forget about the chocolate thing, so it always feels like Rue's going to do a double save.
Yeah.
Every week, I'm like, oh, it's not a double save; it's a chocolate.
I would have been fine with double eliminations.
Yeah, same.
As well,
Yeah.
BT dubs.
I thought it was going to be. I was like, it can't be a double save. It was a
No, of
double
course
save
it wasn't a
last
double
week.
save.
No.
Cool. CNTs.
Charismanum. Who gets the charismanum?
Was it Willow?
Yeah,
Always Willow.
Yeah.
I feel like I had someone else.
Angeria.
Yeah, I'll give it to Angeria.
All right, let's give it to Angeria because then I feel like uniqueness would be Willow.
For me, uniqueness is Alyssa Hunter with look and runway.
Oh,
I really liked it.
yeah, go Willow just because her performance was so like random and out there and
Yeah.
different.
Chris,
Which one are you doing?
uniqueness. Have you done charisma?
I think I'd go for Willow for Christmas. Uniqueness. Yeah, no, Alyssa's outfit. I thought that was quite a nice
Cool.
way.
Oh, I'm really struggling.
There's loads of uniqueness this episode.
It was, yeah. I'd say maybe Maddie for like some of her, like the way, just for her heterosexuality, no, for her for the way she brought in a lot of stuff into this episode. I thought was quite like she brought quite a lot of fun stuff. It was kind of a good side to see from her.
For me, Nerve's going to be J-Lo for having the balls to promote her film.
I'm gonna echo you on that one. Oh,
Nerve?
that was so ridiculous.
Yeah,
Though. Just like
That's our Nerve. What's your
Mine.
guys?
Nerve would be Jasmine for like not managing to bite her tongue by just constantly being berated by cornbread all the time.
good point.
Nerve to. I'm gonna say Nerve to Kerry just for like wearing a runway outfit that wasn't really anything. Her.
Fair. Okay. Talent. For me, I said Deja Sky. Just I thought like her performance was the most
Actually, that's-
varied.
that's
Like
a solid one.
I thought she sold the confessional bit really
Yeah,
well.
Chris exhaling.
Again, she's obviously not one of my favorites. I don't really care if she goes home still, but I just thought she had showed the most talent this episode personally. From what I saw.
Yeah. Yeah.
What
I
you
think it's
guys?
a good
J-Lo for her wonderful acting career. All those amazing films that she's been in.
one. All her hit film.
All her film.
She's what hit film?
That's true.
What's she been really good in?
What's the one? Is it like Manhattan something or something?
Maybe
Maybe
Manhattan is
Manhattan.
not good.
I don't
Was she in
know.
one of the oceans?
Was
I feel like she was in that film like a
The
year or
heist
two
one,
ago, the
yeah.
heist one, which was no, that was
J-Lo's heist.
the one where she plays a stripper, and it was really good.
Okay.
And she was very good in that. She got like plaudits.
And I've heard that she's really good in Marry Me, out February 11th.
Oh my God, Blair Wilson.
Hey, Kurt, cheers for jumping in.
Okay.
We're between our CUNTs. Cheers for jumping in. So we've got talent from.
I'm still thinking
Oh,
about
yeah.
that.
I can't really think of anyone that really stands out.
It was a fairly strong episode all around.
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
the editors for managing
Yes.
to pull some
Yeah.
Those
stuff out.
the edits of those programs were great. Like
Mm.
as I said, like really funny.
Yeah.
They should just let the Queens, maybe the Queens collectively writing their own comedy scripts and not allowing the shitty like Drag Race script writers to write any more comedy challenges.
God,
because
yeah,
they're
it's not
always
anymore,
terrible.
though.
Yeah, I agree.
Like they're never funny.
What's the
And it's
cha-
always the Queens that make them funny, like Flame
Yeah.
Factory.
Flame
Stuff
Factory.
like that.
Yeah,
Although
oh,
I'm a
yeah,
little bit worried
I
that
believe.
next episode might be very similar,
I'm fine with that.
which I'm fine with. But like, I hope that it isn't like a kind of
I'm excited about it.
We
though.
always
Like,
get the
seeing
same
James
sort of
Mansfield
challenges.
and
Yeah,
it's a
me
really
too.
good idea.
the other ones.
Yeah, Tempest.
Tempest du Jour
Kimura
and Kimura Black.
Hall.
Kimura Hall? Who's
Yeah.
Kimura Black?
Kimura.
Oh yeah.
Kimura Black was one of those plastic surgery.
Yeah,
More
that's
interesting than
good.
Kimura Hall.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Mora.
I'm gonna give my talent to Maddie for the meaty tuck joke and the dad's joke that didn't get through to the final.
Yeah.
the final
That's
production.
Because they were
I thought
like,
they
"Oh,
quite
Maddie's
fun.
funny." Someone made a comment about it, and they didn't really let her have any airtime, which is a shame.
So Kurt's comment's quite funny.
it's
So
very good, Kurt.
what was I say? So
Dan, where's your top, or is he behind you?
He knows.
Yes. And yes, he is.
what was I saying? So I think we've all got the same recommendation this week.
Oh my god,
yes.
absolutely.
Yeah.
My channel. See for
JV,
yourselves.
Oh my god, we can mention that though.
We don't need to.
Should we
We
just
don't need to.
pull off the Mayor of Easttown band-aid then?
Yeah, we just watched the whole series over a couple of days. Very nice time for everyone, I felt.
I loved
So good.
Wasn't at all traumatized by that.
Yeah, like
Mm.
proper like masterclass in acting and
Mm.
like I was reading like trivia about it last night, and it's worth reading about all the background of it.
Ooh.
It's just we shouldn't say too much about the actual show.
No, just like you've seen Sharp Objects, it's a similar sort of vibe. Both are
Yeah.
very, very good.
Small town shenanigans,
It's a
Yeah.
murder.
Twisty turny, yeah, all very
twisty
good.
turny.
Fast paced, like it doesn't spend too long. It's not like 10 episodes on like one person who
Yeah.
potentially did it. It's like quite a lot's happened every episode.
It's a lot of story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's like a really cool like making of thing
Yeah.
at the very end of the series, which I found very cool.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
they do talk about how much shit they actually managed to cram in. Yeah, very good.
And it was filmed. A lot of it was filmed, or like a big chunk of it was filmed over COVID, and they had to rewrite a lot of it to get it to fit
Right.
with fewer people on set.
Oh, nice.
So the fact that it was rewritten and was still that good,
Yeah.
I would never have known.
no, I
Yeah.
thought that was exactly how it was supposed to play out. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
so,
Cool.
yeah. And we also watched JVN's. Well, I don't know what it's called.
Curious, getting curious.
Yeah, they're so funny and charming, and
Yeah.
it's just all kinds of silly.
Definitely pass some time.
I definitely feel like I learned things as well.
And I love how it goes from like very light topics like pretty hair and snacks, and then it goes straight to like gender,
Yeah.
Yeah.
the
There was a-
distant conflicts in the war. It's like,
What was the one at the end? What was the last episode?
ice skating.
Oh yeah, there was one more I think, which is heavier.
Yeah, we haven't got to it yet. Right?
Oh.
I can't remember.
Yeah, you're right. It's the Israeli-Palestinian conflict.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
Which is Mage.
Great.
Gorgeous.
And they
actress.
like had a little like conflict situation moment.
Oh my God.
And it was not gorge.
Cool. All right. Is that enough for everyone?
Yeah.
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 Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye. Oh, I love it.
Everyone wave.
Bye. Oh, okay. Both of our viewers left at the end.